Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be working on this split plaid tumbler. As usual, we're going to start off with a prepped and spray painted tumbler. I just used black as my base for this. You can use dark green if you'd like. Didn't have any. It doesn't really matter as long as the color is close. So I'm starting out with Pond House from Peachy Olive Glitters, and once I've got that applied, I'm going to go over it with Malfoy just to darken it up a bit. Once my epoxy was cured underneath my glitter, I covered it with a coat of Crystalite glitter glue and let that cure another 2 hours. I went over this with 2 coats of epoxy, and then I cut out a gold vinyl circle at 3.5 inches to match the same size as my decal. So even though this is a universal decal with white backing on it, the dark letters aren't going to show under a dark glitter base, so that's why I cut that gold vinyl circle so the decal would show on the dark green base. I wasn't really sure what size I wanted this plaid vinyl at the base to be, so that's why I applied my decal first to kind of gauge how big or small I wanted this wrap to be at the bottom. And once I laid it flat, it lined up almost perfectly to each seam. You'll see when I apply it right towards the end, I stretch it out just a little bit so it is touching the other seam. So when I cut that excess off, it's going to be a flawless or a seamless look on that plaid. These were from my mystery box, so I decided to put a little acrylic tag on them from Mizzy's Doodles. I don't have a discount code with them, but Kelly Norris from Dixie Darlings does. Her discount is Kelly10, K-E-L-L-E-Y 10 for 10% off. So I'll link that in the description box as well. They're not very expensive, but they're an adorable addition to your cup design. Now that I've got all of my vinyl applied, I'm going to go through with my Dremel here with the sanding disc just to clear off any debris from the top rim of the cup to make sure it's completely smooth once we get that final coat of epoxy on. I'll link what I use in the description. I figured I would put that in this tutorial and never show you guys this part. It's kind of awkward to do on camera. But this is all I do, and then I just clean it off with rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. Just make sure when you're done that you are looking for any little fuzzies that may have come off of that paper towel, because it will leave little divots and little bumps in your final coats of epoxy if you don't catch it. So I'm just going through and trying to find the center point of both the decal as well as the vinyl to apply this decal to my cup. These Create by Firefly decals are very sturdy, so I didn't have any reservations about putting it on the cup and repositioning it. Just don't press it down and it won't rip. It's a pretty thick, relatively thick, not super thick, but decal. So it's not like a water slide. It's not gonna rip if you barely touch it or anything like that. So you're welcome to do that. It's not gonna hurt anything as long as you're just being gentle when you pull it back up. And I made sure to wear gloves when I applied this because it's going on a metallic vinyl, and if you've used metallic vinyl, you know that it's an absolute nightmare with any bumps or fingerprints or anything like that. So I made sure to wear gloves just so I didn't have any fingerprints transferring from the decal and showing underneath the or over top of the metallic vinyl. And of course, you know, I can't do a cup without some sort of striping. And if you guys haven't figured it out by now, there are two main sizes that I use for my striping. The larger one that I'm putting on top of this vinyl wrap is 0.20 height by 11.5 width. The bottom I cut 0.08 height by 11.5 width. And I use stripes so much that I just usually cut a 12 by 12 sheet of stripes and keep them on hand so I don't have to cut them every single time. As much as I hate to say it, I hate my Cricut. Decal day is like an absolute nightmare for me. So I just cut them to avoid having to get that out every time I want to do a new cup design, and I just stick them in a drawer and they're ready for me to use. So after 2 final coats of epoxy, 4 coats in total, this design was done. I absolutely love it. I love dark greens this season. So I was loving this cup. If you guys like this, go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you thought in the comments. And if you'd like to join my Facebook group, that is Mitten Makers, and I will see you guys next weekend.